Well, we might have had a couple of very exciting days on the channel with the start and the first two parts of our new alternate head coach save, which you can find up in the eye above. But don't forget about the old slog with Southend United. We're in the midst of a title battle in season 12. For the first time, we look like we might win the biggest trophy in England. But today, we've got a big double header over the festive period, and the games don't get much tougher than this. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 95 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today to face Maurizio Pochettino and I think still, Nuno Espirito Santo as we face Everton and Manchester City, currently two of the top seven in two more top of the table clashes. A triple header last time, a double this time, and for the second, we will have our new signing to meet as well. We've got a lot to look forward to, so if you're looking forward to it as well, as we're embroiled in yet another title race with Manchester United, but this time via goal difference, we've just about got the edge ourselves. If you're looking forward to it, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. But for now, let's go and have a look at what's been going on in the club. We've played 4 games since you were last with me. We've won them all, but we did lose our record in the last game, which was only conceding 1 goal in a league fixture. We let in 2 against Fulham, but when you look at the time of the last goal by Kranic there, I think you'll see why I wasn't too upset about it. First though, we won 5-1 against Galatasaray as we bounced back after that triple header where we were brilliant in 2 1-0 wins as you saw on camera, just pipped by United to keep them in the race. But 5-1 against Galatasaray, we rotated and it worked. Vasquez started it off, Josh Doig, a surprise name at Galatasaray, got an own goal early as well. Harrison Parker with a rare goal for him. Kranic and another for Casey Worcester made it 5-1. A 4-1 win at bottom of the table Palace despite being pegged back from 1-0 again. Bernberg got the early goal who's really coming to fruition. And then Wills, Mauricio and Herbert with 1 each in the second half. Away at Wolves, we won by 4-0 thanks to a very good performance in the second half again. It was comfortable, but 2 goals came late on as Mauricio, Herbert, Berek and Kranic got 1 apiece. And then against Fulham on Boxing Day, I kind of have to take a bit of the blame myself because I basically went full rotation and gambled, so we had our fully fit team for these 2 tough games today. And it almost cost us because after 70 minutes, we were 2-0 down. We threw on O'Day, Memic, Jimenez, Adamson and Kranic. Rakowski started the comeback with a goal in the 73rd minute. And then 2 of those super subs, Jimenez and Kranic in the 95th, maybe producing a performance of champions again, with the backup team just about getting over the line with a lot of help from the superstars. Definitely some concern there. But I'm looking optimistically because we've got 2 Champions League games to go. We now don't have to worry about our first team in them because we've got 12 points. We'll be through anyway. We're not going to finish below 24th with that. So we can relax in those ones. We have also got a winnable game at home in the FA Cup. Leeds in the table doing okay, but they're 11th and they'll rotate a bit too. No way have they gone back to Jesse Marsh. That's unbelievable. And our run in January is not ideal because of the away games in succession and the fact that 2 of them are Aston Villa and Arsenal in a row. But overall, it's not a bad run after that. We've got a very comfortable February, which should be when our Champions League football comes back as well. And we've only got 3 fixtures in March, bar the Cup. So, although we've got a difficult finish to the season, the spell in between it should be all right. For now, we're going to focus on 2 big Premier League fixtures before Cup football returns to Southend United. We're top of the table on goal difference with United going to Arsenal, who are 3rd today. Let's hope they play out a very hard-fought game. Let's hope United aren't winning it. Because if we can do the job away at Everton, who have done well but not had the best season in the world, we will be at the top with a points lead rather than just a goal advantage one. Alfie Devine in that midfield, Jonah Hodgkinson, not the same one obviously, but a great name from our previous saves. Garner and Branthwaite, the 2 originals in there. Patterson at right back as well. So let's see what team we can put out. It will be all changed from the Fulham game where we rotated heavily. And we'll see what the assistant has decided to go for and whether we agree with it. The back 5 looks good. The midfield 4 looks good. And the front 2, I'm probably going to take Mauricio out for Joe Wills, but I can't argue with much of it. Ivanov's been really poor this season. He just can't get going. 5 goals at this point is ridiculous. Mauricio the same. I mean, no one's in double figures, which tells you the story, really. The sub-defenders, we're going to have Rakowski and Branda. Probably going to go Ishmael for the natural balance. Then the 2 wingers alongside Berek rather than Harrison, I think. Or actually, we could go for Peacock and then put Rakowski as the midfielder. Which way do we go about it? Maybe we stick with Harrison. I think we're going to. This is the team then, back to full strength. First time in a few episodes we've not had bundles of injuries to worry about, though over this period we know we're going to pick some up. Jimenez is just returning to fitness. Yukulano's almost there. Most of the rest are ever present in recent weeks, but none of those strikers staying fit long enough to get themselves in top form. So this 11 is Sadler in goal, Memic and De Angelis the fullbacks with Herbert and O'Day as centre-half, Yukulano and Adamson the wingers, Bernberg and Jimenez in the middle, and then it's Wills and Kranjic the front 2. Let's go off to the Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, almost called it Goodison there, and see how we get on away at Everton. If we can nick a 1-0 in this one, I'm going to start to believe a title's on. It's 3 changes from Mauricio's side. He has gone for, pretty much what the assistant predicted. No one else on the bench we recognise bar Valentin Barco, who obviously has just gone to Brighton in real life, but in this save wouldn't have been. Let's go and tell the lads to prove a point, encourage them, do what you can. We've got most motivated. We've had a scare when being complacent. We've rested a few on Boxing Day as well. But Everton, I've just noticed, look at that. 5 wins in a row. Not the form you want your opponents in when you come into this. We've won a few in a row ourselves, but we've made hard work of the last one. And the last big test we had against United, you saw we failed. So let's see how we do here as Memic throws into Yukulano early. Chance to cross, good ball in. Kranjic hits the woodwork. His woodwork stats must be ridiculous. 15 gone, it is 0-0. Bottom of the table, Palace 2 up, that's interesting. As Herbert goes out to De Angelis, and now Wills who gives it away. I would give anything to get one of these strikers in the form they were in last year. We could just find a way to get Wills or Ivanov in particular scoring. Or just Kranjic to be consistent. We'd be right up there and away with it. As Yukulano's down the right to the byline, he goes, good ball in for Kranjic. He's trying his best and he is the first to double figures this year. 10 goals after a slow start. Yes, lots of them have come in the Champions League at home to poorer opposition. But he's still popping up with them. Yukulano not being fully fit has been a big factor as well. He often pops up with the most assists. Him and last year's Sam Amo, the 2 traditional wingers, had the most. Maybe that's an impact as well. As Bramthwaite goes back to Ainsworth. Everton looking to bounce straight back. Patterson playing that inverted fullback role there. And it's back into the centre circle. Rafa Marin carrying it forward. It's a good shape from Southend, but we've been conceding a chance here. And when you are behind, I'm not sure that was offside, you know. When you are letting teams in behind, you need a great goalkeeper. And Jude Sadler is delivering again as Bernberg puts in a free kick. Up go a couple of bodies down to Adamson on the half volley. Not far wide at all. It was hit with real power. And it almost found its way in. We're 10 to the break. We are still ahead, but it's not looking comfortable, is it? Wills heads away that free kick. Adamson flicks it on, but it's only as far as Rafa Marin, the Everton skipper. He finds Patterson, who's causing trouble there. Gets towards the byline, goes back to his captain again, and he finds Ainsworth in the middle to James Garner. Chance to shoot, it's a good effort. And again, Sadler is equal to it, having a very good game, and again, a very good season. Happy to have him tied down. To think we had him sitting on the bench for a year was ridiculous, as that one's off the line from Joe Wills, and then Herbert. Even when Sadler's beaten, it doesn't go in. We're counting our lucky stars in this one. 38 gone, Everton have dominated. We're somehow 1-0 up, as United still 0-0. As I say that, they score right on cue. United back level on points, and Sadler back equal to another wonderful effort from Everton. I'm running out words for him. He's having a great game, but we are all at sea here. It's not a clean sheet because we've been defending better in this game. It's because Jude Sadler is making save after save after save, and he's just produced another one. Bramthwaite's header this time tipped over. We're in 3 minutes of added time. It's not been great, but we do eventually get it away. And at half time, undeservedly, you've got to say, we are going to be 1-0 up, and it is the one moment of quality. And I'll ask the lads to prove a point just to keep them motivated. But I'm a bit worried about this performance as De Angelis nicks the ball at left back. Big clearance towards Kranjic. Got to produce on the counter, but we won't with touches like that. Ball's flicked on, O'Day intercepts, but that first touch is appalling. Bernberg finds Herbert, and now O'Day. Can we just calm it down, play out from the back? O'Day finds Jimenez, into Kranic. This is better. Back to the right back, just keep in possession. I'm all right with that. Memic down the line to Yokolano. Here is Kranic. Wills is not even making the run. Kranic puts it wide. That's the difference between this season and last. How many times have you seen my teams have tap-ins there because there's 3 or 4 in the box? Wills just held back for some reason. There was no logic to it. Is it just because he's unhappy, he's not confident? I don't know. But that is virtually unheard of in his time there. He's always in there for the tap-in. This season he's not, as Kranic to the back post. Herbert and Wills up. Just over the bar. Lewis Herbert, almost the biggest goal threat in the team this season. It's a better start to the second half, but it's still only 1-0. And while our defensive record's been good this season, it's not so great in recent weeks, which leaves me worried. We've also got a big game in 3 days we've got to think about, particularly when it comes to fitness for some here. 25 remaining. I will make a couple of subs in a minute, but let's see out this attack from Ghana. Goron gets in. Oh, good challenge, Herbert. Really good defending. Memic hoofs it clear, but there's no one there. Bramthwaite will just carry it forward again. Hodgkinson back to Bramthwaite for a second time. Hodgkinson down the right to Mitrovic, and now James Garner. Looking for that through ball to Goran, into Buali, and he has absolutely shanked it. It was a great opportunity. Now we will make a couple of subs. We're going to go Adamson off for Vasquez. I'm going to have to go Mauricio for Wills because he's had a shocker. In an ideal world, we take Jimenez off as well. Yokolano's not fully fit, so those two probably won't do 90. You can see Bernberg struggling as well, though. Memic hasn't had a great spell at right back. Going to make a couple more here. And now Bernberg's got an injury, so it's going to have to be both. Harrison for Bernberg. Jimenez off for Rakoski. Yokolano's going to have to stay on as we take Memic off for Baranda. And they're the 5 substitutions. We've been forced into a couple there. I would have left Bernberg on. And it's a game where we've been second best for a huge amount. But at the moment, we're doing what we did in the last episode, which is finding a way to grind out 1-0 wins. And Arsenal have just turned it round against United. 2 goals in 10 minutes. And as we go into stoppage time, it's the new familiar pattern. We're time wasting our way to a 1-0 win. And I don't really know how we've got to this position with Southend, where we're playing containing football. But it's working. I'm not going to complain if it delivers me a title. The pragmatic approach is just as effective. Let's play for set pieces. Let's slow it down. Let's time waste. Let's stop countering. And let's drop that line of engagement. 3 of the 4 added minutes remain. And for Everton, it is a case of what might have been. Because they've deserved something out of this match. But boy, they haven't got it. A brilliant result for Southend. You've seen 3 1-0 victories in the last 2 episodes, and in only one of those games were we the better team. This one, we weren't our best, but we got the result. I'm happy. As long as we keep doing that, we're going to be right up there. United beaten, we've got a 3-point lead. And now we face Manchester City, one of only 2 sides to beat us this year. Let's see if NUNO can deliver again. We'll be back in a minute to face the Citizens. Well, the transfer window is open and there is excitement at Southend United, but there's only one fitness test today and I'm afraid it's bad news. Peter Bernberg is not available and it may mean we see a debutant today and possibly from the start rather than the bench. We'll look at that in a moment. For now though, let's go and meet the new boy because he is unbelievable. That man, if we go back down to 9 o'clock this morning, is Dimitris Kivrakidis. He has put pen to paper on a 3-year deal here. 3-star ability, massive potential, massive quality. A little bit of a worry about injuries, we've got to admit that. But for 11 million, we're not going to lose money here. He's got 5-star potential. The only other weird thing is he's naturally a centre-half, but we're retraining him 100% as a centre-mid. His worst attributes, technically, are basically tackling and heading, and he's 5'10". He's quick, he's great on the ball, he's creative, he's determined, he's not bad going forward. He's an all-round box-to-box midfielder and probably long-term my replacement for Jimenez. If he develops how I think, him and Bernberg could be the world-class elite midfield duo we were looking for. On the subject of world-class and elite, we need to go back to the awards a bit earlier in the day, or in fact it might have been a bit later in the day, mightn't it? We had a clean sweep when it came to Premier League Young Player of the Month with Bernberg, Kranic and Memic all in the top 3. In the actual player of the month one, Ryan Adamson was second at 5 assists in the month. And if we go back to yesterday, Kranic won the European Golden Boy, a lot for his performances with Croatia and Dinamo, but has also done a bit of a job with us now as well, and is starting to show the signs we were hoping for. Takazuka won the Japanese Player of the Year. There's a lot of excitement around. Harrison Parker picks up an injury though, one slight negative. We go into this though with a 3-point lead in the Premier League title race because of Manchester United's late defeat against Arsenal. As City and United are the only two teams to have beaten us this year, and it's City who we're facing today. This time at home, but they have won 2 of the last 3 titles, and remarkably, at 34, Erling Haaland has decided to find his best form again. So Nuno's getting the best out of him. We're getting the best out of Southend. Which one will come out on top here? Who's going to be fit is crucial, because we're without our best player against a team that plays very narrow. Not always a good sign for us. And interesting, they've changed from Emery to Nuno, but they've not changed shape at all. They're still playing that box midfield. Maybe just the best for the team, I don't know. I'm going to take out Bernberg for, I think, Berek from the start. But the substitutes bench will not be Harrison against his youth club. It will be Kivrakidis, who is going to come into the bench today. He's a good young player, and we've got to get him into the squad. So let's get him involved. We're trying to loan out Hansen. We're trying to get rid of a couple of others. This might be the window for Joe Hugill. I hate to admit it, but I think he might be off now. I don't want him to just sit here and not play. We look at the squad in full. There's not many other changes or even heavy match loads we need to worry about. I could have bought in Baranda for Memic at right back, and I was half tempted to make a change up front. But I'm not going to do it. The next game is a cup one. We can rotate fully. We've got Brentford after that. 15th place in the league. We should be able to rotate a few if there's a couple of heavy match loads left. I'm going to go full strength today. So unfortunately, we're without our best player, Bernberg. Berek comes in. Might be one of his last games for the club. And the new boy's on the bench. But the rest of the team unchanged. As it's Southend United versus Manchester City. Well, a bit of a weird one with Peter Bernberg complaining that he should have been picked, despite the fact he's nowhere near fit or in condition. It's 5 changes for Manchester City. Of the originals, you've still got 3 in the back 4. Doyle obviously out on loan there, but then Gavardio and Lewis, familiar names. Haaland up front. The bench, Phil Foden still going, but not really featuring much now. And then you look at the rest of the squad, Van der Voort, Ignacio, Ryan Cherky, all quality young players at the start. And no, it's not that Ross Stewart. So let's get through to the game at Steve Tilson Park. We're going to ask to prove a point again. I need Joe Wills to sort of put himself in a shop window here. I'm at the point now where I don't actually mind if he stays because he's letting us down a bit. But I need him to deliver and get that big offer. Everton linked for 88 million. I'll take about 100 if we can get it. Villa have gone 1 up away at United early on. That changes this game. Sadler saves a Haaland free kick. Might explain why he's scoring more if he's taken over those duties when Foden and De Bruyne have dropped out of the team. As they've got the corner which comes in. Sadler does well. But this is an opportunity now. If United lose that game, a draw here becomes a good result. We're not going to have much of the possession. It's on 21%, although it is creeping up now. It's just about finding a way. We've done it so many times this year. But not against City and United. As Haaland in off the post from the header. We cannot deal with the aerial threat from him. Herbert's a big lad, but Haaland's a monster. As Gvardiol chips into midfield, O'Day does really well. What an improvement from him this year. Kranic finds Ukulano. Gvardiol does well. Clears it as far as Adamson, who gives it to Berek. Out wide to Memic, it's a poor ball. Haaland nicks it, but he's giving it away to Ukulano. Now he's giving it away. Oh, it's chaos here, like a hot potato. Papaitu brings it forward. Space to run into. Berek nicks it back. Then he loses it. It's into Ryan Cherky. Blocked to Papaitu. And over the bar eventually. Not a comfortable passage of play for either side to watch. But it's still 0-0. We're still in the game. But we are dealing with a lot of set pieces. A lot of corners. And we're struggling at times. Herbert heads the first one away. Gvardiol's rebound. Straight in the arms of Sadler. Either side that's in. We've got away with one. Let's see what Memic can do as it's rolled out to him. We've got to take advantage of this space out wide. Ukulano looks over the top early. No one's making a run. And again, Will's not getting on the shoulder. Not trying to get in behind. Something he's always done on that attack duty since he's been here. Not happening today as Cherky concedes possession to Jimenez. He's not the best on the ball but does find O'Day. Really missing the calmness of Bernberg here as Memic looks for Kranic. He's robbed by Haaland, who's dropping very deep. He wins it back, finds Memic, and now Jimenez over to Yukulano. Think he was off anyway. Fires it a million miles wide. Let's encourage the lads. We're doing all right, but we don't look that comfortable in possession. City are pressing us, and we're struggling with that. Again, Sadler's the man of the match, as Joe Wills flies into a tackle there. Don't need one of your red cards today, pal. As Shirky goes back to the centre-half in Ashio. They're comfortable in possession, City. They're happy to dominate and wait for the opening. And he might have found it here with Guilherme into Haaland. Was he onside? We're not going to know yet. VAR will check. I think it was all right. And Erling Haaland, top scorer in the division. Could you just imagine if we had a striker of that quality? If Kranic maybe becomes that, maybe not got the height for it. It's the only difference, isn't it? When we've played City and when we've played United, that has been the difference. The real top goal scorers, the one-a-game players. So let's prove a point. I don't know what there's so many nerves about. Berek, De Angelis and her, but let's just encourage them here. We've got them all on board again. United have equalised, so the gap is down to 2 points now. But if we are going to lose this game, be a great bonus if United don't win theirs, though I fully expect them to. As Shirky breaks away, but concedes possession to O'Day. He finds Jimenez and now Yukulano. Can it be the late show for Southend United? Kranic in and scores. He's starting to get there, but I'm a bit worried about this. It looked very close. I'm not sure who's playing him on. But it doesn't matter because someone was. 1-1, Southend United equalise. And unfortunately, it might be one of the last things we see from Yukulano today. There's a few really struggling physically. Kranic and Yukulano, the 2 stars among them. As we've conceded a rebound from the corner. Now the question is, was Haaland offside when the original header hit him? Because he blocked it. But it's not given. It's goal awarded. That not conceding more than one is well and truly gone now, isn't it? And I'm left with the age-old question. Do we go for quality or for fitness? I'm going for fitness. Memic will come off for Baranda. Kranic will come off for the old boy Teddy Ivanov. Ever reliable. The old boy at 25, I say. Adamson, you're going to come off for Vasquez. Takatsuka for Yukulano. And Jimenez will make way for the debutant. Kivrakidis is on. He's looking nervy. He'll be absolutely fine. Let's encourage these boys again. There are 25 minutes. Anything would be a bonus as Lewis gets down the right for City. To the byline. Crossing is blocked by her, but it's going to be a corner. A penalty. So soft. But we know these are always given. And now we might concede 3 in a game for the first time this year. As our defence is going back to its old ways. It's struggling with the heavy match load and without Memic. It's all falling apart a bit. Haaland well saved. Jude Sadler keeps us in it. Oh, what a goalkeeper. He saved a Haaland penalty. Not dissimilar to the one he scored against Spurs in real life this week. Right in that top left corner. And Sadler flies up to his right to save it. Brilliant work from him. And now Vasquez can break away from that corner. Imagine we equalise from it. He's going all the way, Luis Vasquez. 2 in the middle. Deflected away to De Angelis. He's in the box now. Chance to cross for Vasquez. Deflects for a corner. And now we're in the ascendancy. It's an end-to-end game. And we're having a go. But Jude Sadler is the reason we've still got a chance here. Takatsuka on the corner. It's a poor one. Too easy for Van der Voort. It's telegraphed there. We're deservedly getting beat at the minute. But while it's still 2-1, there's always a chance. Need I remind you of that Newcastle away game last year? 3-1 down after 93 minutes, 4-3 winners. De Angelis gets the ball away. Not very well, though. Back across goal. It's into Guibert. And that's cost us the game. De Angelis has had a great year, but this is not happening for us. I need to sort the Joe Wills situation. Whether it's a new contract or whether it's getting rid of him, because it's costing us games. He just isn't performing. His header there's off the line. And look at the unhappiness in the squad. The morale's shot. And so is the fitness. We're going to have to gamble a bit against Leeds United. I mean, yet again, these boys, they've given it a go. You have to give them so much credit. But we just haven't quite got that depth of squad yet of a United or a City when they're at their best. When we're having to rotate the full 11, we're still bringing in, with respect to them, Parker, Harrison, Joe Hugo until this season. We're not quite there. And I think we're going to have to It's one of those summers coming up where I'm going to have to let the loyalty go, isn't it? And get rid of a few for that last big push. As Branda breaks down the right for Takatsuka. Into Joe Wills. He's offside. Takatsuka's off from the original as well, apparently. I think Wills might have been too. Of course, the one he scores, he's off. As Vasquez finds De Angelis. Cross into the back post. Takatsuka's there. Headers over. Not really the man we want that fall into. And there's two 6-foot strikers in front of him. City deservedly going to win this game. We've not really given them one. And the lapse in defensive record is starting to worry me. As Herbert's up at the back post. Loses it. So away as far as Ivanov. Into back post. Wills knocks it down. De Angelis there. Chance to shoot. Scores. 89th minute. We're going attacking because it's 3-2 and we're back in it. It's not going to be Newcastle again, is it? Surely. 5 minutes added on. We're on the front foot. Oh, come on, boys. Vasquez down the left. Finds De Angelis. Into Takatsuka. Headed away as far as Branda. He's got a chance to shoot. Finds Takatsuka. He's done it again. Kazuki Takatsuka. The same man that was the hero against Newcastle. It is 3-3. We've done it again from 3-1 down. In the 89th minute, the left-back scores. And then it's always Kazuki Takatsuka. How on earth have we got a point out of that? And what did I tell you when Sadler saved that penalty? How big could that be? 3-3. This team, for whatever I say. And it's the one reason I was talking about that loyalty when the game was drifting. It's the one reason I don't make those changes so quickly. Because that team spirit, that culture in the club, the personalities we've got in there, they don't do getting beaten. And that makes a massive difference at this level. Let's go and have a look and see if United were held as well. Yes, they were. We maintain a 3-point gap. We maintain a little unbeaten run. That is huge. What an episode that's turned into. A big 1-0 away win. And then a massive comeback against City to get ourselves 3 points clear still. Kivrakidis made his debut. That'll build his confidence being a part of that. We've got scout reports going around. There's loads of good players popping up. And we extend the unbeaten run to 5 thanks to that equaliser late on. Takatsuka the man. I was almost thinking of getting rid of him. He's been unhappy this year. I'm not sure I can do it yet. And there's a familiar sight from the Premier League. Nuno Espirito Santo wants VAR answers. Not the first time we've seen that in real life or FM. Let's have a look at the schedule then. When are we going to be back? I'm almost tempted to leave it until the Champions League returns, you know, because I'm looking at the rest of this month. Arsenal and Villa's too soon to come back. I might leave the league fixtures till here. Maybe look for Champions League leg plus Sheffield United, something like that. Let's get to the exciting parts of the season. Let's see if we can progress in the cup, get a good run of fixtures. And then we'll be back at some point when either the Champions League returns for those 3 fixtures in March, or if we get any big ins in the window that our scouting team find. But there's none on the horizon at the minute. If you enjoyed this one, another thrilling comeback after another boring 1-0 away win, and please do put a thumbs up on it. I'm not going to apologise for those 1-0s because they are making a huge difference this year. We're top of the table, and I feel like in our 12th season at Southend, it might finally be happening. We're certainly getting closer, if nothing else, and this young team's only getting better. We've added another star today. What do you think of him? Who should we let go from the club next? And if you want to stay up to date and find out if we can continue to push on all 3 fronts, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. FA Cup and Champions League will certainly form part of the focus from the next episode. But for now, excitement's in the air. We've got a title race on our hands and another superstar into the club. If you have missed it in the last couple of days, we've had the first 2 parts of our new alternate head coach save up in the eye above. Do check them out. They've been brilliant fun. Really been looking forward to it for a number of months. We've also got loads over on the podcast channel where we will be back with our Championship playoff final preview in the next day or 2. And of course, there's also a link there to the Twitch channel with regular live streams from FM24 and fun on Thursday nights from Scotland with Aberdeen. Thank you very much for watching though. Your support is massively appreciated. Kazuki Takatsuka is the hero again. Let's see who it will be next time and whether he's still at the club.